Conspiracy theorist Alex Jones filed a lawsuit this week to try and block The Onion from getting control of his company. The satirical publisher won the auction for Jones's right-wing media company Infowars last week. Jones was forced to file for bankruptcy and sell his company to help pay for a defamation lawsuit brought by the families of Sandy Hook shooting victims. Jones has used Infowars to falsely claim the 2012 mass shooting in which 20 elementary school students and six staff members were killed was a hoax. The Onion's auction bid was backed by some of the victims' families. CBS News legal contributor and Loyola Law School professor Jessica Levinson joins me now because our team has a lot of legal questions about this. Jessica, first, take us back. Can you explain why The Onion was able to buy Infowars in an auction and what it means for the publication to own it?
Absolutely. Exactly as you just said, there was a defamation suit that was brought by the victims and the victims' families of the Sandy Hook massacre. And they sued Alex Jones for defamation because he lied about what had actually happened, and it caused great injury to them. They won a $1.5 billion verdict, which I think is important to note is virtually unheard of when we think about defamation suits. So the jury here is definitely sending a message. Alex Jones then declares bankruptcy. As part of that bankruptcy, his assets are being sold off. There's a court-appointed trustee who's selling off his assets. And that's what brings us to The Onion being able to potentially purchase this website because they were one of the bidders. Essentially, just as people understand when something goes up for auction, you get bidders. And they gave a bid that the court-appointed trustee accepted. And that is what's now being challenged this week in court.
But Jones says that this is collusive bidding. Does he have a legal argument here?
Well, I don't know if he has a successful legal argument. So we are in somewhat uncharted territory, except let's remember that when it comes to cases like this, typically bankruptcy judges will defer to the court-appointed trustee. And if that happens, then he does not have a successful suit. So what he's arguing here is that the families and The Onion, and I think the trustee as well, all colluded to ensure that the other bid was not accepted. Now, who made the other bid? That was by a company that's affiliated with him and the so-called health pills that he has been selling. And so he obviously wanted that other bid to be the successful bid. The court-appointed trustee has said this is just sour grapes. I was well within my discretion to say that The Onion had the winning bid in this case.
If in the end The Onion keeps Infowars, what does that mean for Jones's shows and the other brands centered around himself?
Well, that at the very least, it wouldn't be on this platform. So, of course, we still have First Amendment protections, even for people like Alex Jones, maybe especially for people like Alex Jones, in the sense that the First Amendment is there to protect those people who are unpopular. Now, they can transgress those protections, for instance, by defamation. But he still has the right to speak, and he could potentially be forced to do so on a different platform where he has to, and he already has started to do this, I understand, this week and last week, essentially direct his listeners, here's another place where you can hear
So he could
me.
essentially just relaunch and say Infowars 2.0.
With the understanding, I think, that he can't continue to defame these families because then they will come back to court. And so he can relaunch, but the speech that landed him in this position, he couldn't do that again.
Jessica Levinson, thank you as always.